Do not touch your phone. Right after today's tech update, we're diving into a must-hear call from my weekend Kim Commando show that you can get as a podcast. It's called Kim Commando Today. AI chatbots, no matter which one, only knows, if that's the right word, what it's read somewhere else. Or perhaps AI knows only what it's stolen and plagiarized. I'm Kim Commando for NetSuite. Attention business owners, get a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program at netsuite.com/Kim. You can bet that even though AI can pass a bar or a medical exam, no one paid the writers and authors for all the data it absorbed. Could it be that AI is guilty of the biggest data heist in history? We're rapidly reaching a point where AI has scanned every shred of published material it can find. And what could be the biggest David versus Goliath story? A number of artists have launched infringement lawsuits against the largest AI companies. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports painters, photographers, and other artists who flock to Instagram to gain visibility are now fleeing to prevent the app's parent company, Meta, from using their art to train AI models. I know I would. And to keep up with AI, join over 500,000 folks who get my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com. Okay, as promised, here's a standout call for my show. Dave in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. Where is that, Dave?
Well, that's about 20 miles or so. Well, let me put it this way. Key West is mile marker 0, and we're at mile marker 20. So that'll give you an idea. So we're just 20. I hate to say north because I'm not really certain with the way the keys twist a little bit. Anyway, I mean, it's just delightful here. So
I bet it is. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, gorgeous. And banana trees that actually produce bananas and coconut trees that actually produce coconuts. So
nice.
It's pretty exciting. It's really nice. And we've been on the road, actually as a full-time family since 2014. So we've been to 40 different states. Myself, my wife, and my now 17-year-old daughter, and we'll do work camping as we're traveling. It's nice to have a site that you don't have to pay for, and do a little work for them and get paid for it, and then move on maybe to someplace else. So we've been here now a year and a half. This is one of the top 10 RV resorts in the country.
Awesome.
If I can say the name. This is a KOA resort in Sugarloaf Key. It's just spectacular. It's just gorgeous here. Anyway, to my question, if I may.
Sure.
One thing totally out of the blue, which just popped into my head many, many years ago. And when I say many, I mean many. In the late 1950s, I dated a young woman in Massachusetts. Her name was Janet Commando, same spelling. And I've always listened to your show, periodically on the road.
Was it in Massachusetts?
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Where would they? That was probably a relation, and because I do have extended family in Massachusetts.
Okay, well, this is a little town called Rockland, and the dad was a well recognized physician in town, and it's a small little town. It was actually an old shoe manufacturing town, and I kind of grew up there. But her name was Janet Commando, and
I don't know about Janet. See, the history of the Commando name is that they are Russian-Ukrainian. We're Russian-Ukrainian.
Yeah, right.
And that there were only 7 letters on the immigration form, and so
okay.
So they could only put together the first 7 letters.
Gotcha.
And so that's where Commando came from. And I do know that there was like a Mary Commando. Who came, and they were from the same village, so they all kind of took the same name. Anyway, that's fascinating. I'll have to look that up. All right, so how can I lend a hand?
Well, anyway, as part of my traveling, we had an incident 4 or 5 years ago where we were towing a vehicle. The tow bar snapped. Everything was fine. But my wife and daughter and the two dogs decided they were going to drive the car separately and not send me flying off the road somewhere. So as part of that, texting with messaging is, of course, well known. But I was trying to get my phone to just read me aloud a text message upon receipt. So I don't have to do A, pick up the phone and fumble with it and drive off the road, or B, pull off to the side of the road, which in a motorhome is not a good idea most of the time. You don't know what you're going to run into. And lastly, every trucker that's out there, and God knows in 100,000 miles of driving, I've seen all kinds. But even truckers could appreciate this if we could just figure out how to do it. Now, I have a Samsung A21 model Galaxy.
Okay.
And I have, I've read the things about how you can go into the message and have it read to you. But
here's where you want to do it.
Defeats the purpose.
Because you know what? Because we could have been almost relatives. I mean, and you could have been sitting around my Thanksgiving Day table, and you could have been buying me birthday presents, and
see how that works.
Now I got nothing from you, nothing, Dave, absolutely nothing. Okay, but I'm going to give to you because I'm that type of person. What you do is you get into the accessibility suite. In your Samsung phone, under settings, it goes settings, accessibility, installed apps. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find your app. Okay. Once you find the app, and then you're going to enable text to speak, and you're just going to click the allow slider. So again, it's all this. It's interesting because there's a lot of good things inside these accessibility features on phones, and a lot of people don't realize. Even having closed captions. That's also built into the accessibility. So again, accessibility settings, and then in the installed apps, find the app, enable text to speak. And so once you do that, Dave, you're going to be good to go, and you can just cruise down the highway, and people are going to be just texting you. Your phone's going to be going off, and then you're going to call me up in 2 months and say, "Oh, I had to make it stop. It was driving me nuts." A standing ovation to you for tuning in. Yay! Now, if you're puzzled by a tech issue, here's your call to action. Head to Komando.com, select Email Kim. I read each and every note like it's the final round in a tech trivia game. And you can amp up your tech know-how by getting my free daily newsletter. It's just waiting for you over at GetKim.com.